and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Friday, the 31st of March. I am Flatcap Callum, and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, it's the end of the month. It's a significant milestone day for the channel because this is officially video number 400. So, nearly 15 months ago I started the channel, and since then I've made a ridiculous 400 videos. All videos ever made are all still there. They all exist. I've never deleted a video. They are all there, archived for any historians out there. But yes, this is the milestone 400th video. It's also a milestone. It's the end of the month. And boy, would it be lovely to finish the month on and have the 400th video and have a lovely day. But life does not work like that, does it? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes Honeysuckle goes and wins its last race of its life. Sometimes Honeysuckle will get beaten. But who knows? We will see. What I will say on Friday is I quite like Friday, and some of the less obvious races as well. So I'm pushing my luck, I think, on Friday, and I'm going for a stake and a half. So I've done 2 days of 3/4 stake, £15. This Friday it is a £30 stake, and there's a bit of volume in there. 6 bets, 4 different lucky 15s, and 2 different combination bets, stacked at Lingfield and Southwell. So Lingfield is a less obvious stack, I would say. There's not really much that in terms of extra places available. I think there's one race with extra places that some bookies are paying. But yeah, there's a few things I like. So we will be dabbling and we will see. And I think it's the mere sight of £135 return is what we need to save the month. It'd be lovely to have a really good day and do that, but we will just have to see. I don't know, do I? So I give it my best every day, and a lot of days my best is not good enough. It only needs to be good enough long term. That's the point. Alright, so I'm going to run through how we did on Thursday, and then I'll get stuck into Friday's voluminous 6 bets. Alright, Thursday, we came out a little loss. We had some winners, but it wasn't enough, is the kind of the headline. So we started with Win Trixie. First 2 went in, one nicely enough. Both a bit shorter, I think they were in the end. And then Midnight Ginger, it went 1-3 in running. I thought, surely, no, it got beaten quite comfortably into 3rd place. But yeah, 1-3 in running, and then it couldn't complete it. So profitable bet, but we couldn't get the full house on the Trixie, unfortunately. So that was an all right enough start on there. And then we had this. So Air Valley Lad. I mean, I said last night, I said I would back that down to 15-2, 7-1, and it went off 9-2. There was a 10p rule for deduction, but 9-2, and the horse I think pretty much came last. It's important for people to understand some of this stuff, because people look at that and go 18-1. I think after the video was uploaded last night, you could have got 25s on Bet365. Finished 9-2. What does that mean? Does that mean that it was massively punted? Now, the thing, if the horse went and won, people would take the assumption that there was insider knowledge, the horse was massively punted down, and that's why it went off. When the horse comes last, people just don't even think about it and don't remember. But the significance of the amount of difference in the price of the night before to the SP is huge. We had value on our side. We did not have the horse on our side. What it means is, it doesn't mean insider knowledge. Sometimes it does, but they're rare occasions. What that means is, once the markets really start to establish itself, the general population saw that horse should be shorter. So when I'm saying that should be 7-1, that's me saying that's what the market value should have been. Now, what happens when a horse is so far out sometimes? It goes too short, it goes too far in, because there are some people who jump on the bandwagon and go, wow, that horse has massively come in, somebody must know something, I must try and get onto that. And basically it snowballs too far down. So I think 7-1 was the true price. The market value had it at 9-2. So yeah, excuse the beep, I think it's my dishwasher done. The 9 to 2, got off again. 9 to 2 was market value. I think true value was something like 7 to 1. Now it looks irrelevant because the horse came last, but that's, if you read the form, that's where the price should have been. And then we've got we had nothing, and nothing basically. So wasn't anything good on that bet at all. So that was that one. And then bet 3, we got a bit back on that. So only one plan, drifted to 16s. If you took the advisory and took Sky, you'd have got the better price on that. It was only 11s for the channel. We had a disappointment there. And then Alsana got backed in and won really nicely in the end. So it was a win and a place. You're doing slightly better odds on 365 at 16s versus 11s. If you'd done it with Sky, you'd get the benefit of the one winner on its own bonus win. Because Fieldsman was disappointed, and there was a few comments about Fieldsman. I think that horse was a good option. The horse was solid, and I know there was a comment about the horse being 11 years old and therefore too old. The form wasn't too bad. I think what happened in the race, if you watched it unfold, is that one and the other one, the two of them, they went off far too quickly. They were winding each other up. And they went off too quickly and burned out of energy, and that was it. It was toast. So I don't necessarily think it was a bad horse, and I don't think just because it's 11 years old and it didn't run, it came up whatever 6th or whatever, it's a horse you give up on. I just think it went off too quickly because it got spooked by another horse to a certain degree. So that was bet 3. And did we have? We did have a bet 4. We did have a bet 4. Yes, we had a place and nothing else. So that was no good. So that was that. So I got it as 15 on 988 back for the channel. So it puts us 15 down for the week, and just over 100 for the month. So we are headed into what looks like a pretty horrible final March figure, unless we can pull it out the bag on the last day. It would also mean we're looking like we're going 3 months in a row for the first time. We haven't ever done that. 3 months in a row of a loss, and a heavy loss at that. In terms of, we have staked a lot of money, so percentagely it's not completely awful. But yeah, we're just over 100, and we're putting 30 down today. So I think 133 is worst case scenario for the month. So that is not a pretty sight. So I know there's times in the past where it looks like everything I touch is gold. Hopefully, whatever happens in the future, people remember you can go on very, very, very long statistical runs where it's not going your favour at all. And part of the discipline of getting on with this game is just riding it out. And I'm used to riding it out. It is harder to do when you're putting out tips every day and people are following them. So, right, Friday. What are we getting into? Lingfield, and there's quite a bit of bookie variance here. So in this one, there is only one race, which I think is the 225, where there are 4 places available on most bookies. So the rest of them are standard terms 3 places. So what that means is that 365 and Coral are currently the best because you'll get bog on those. So the latest info on 365 looks like they're keeping bog the night before for a few more days. So 365 or Coral or Pass in the morning, you'll also get it on Ladbrokes. With Sky, if you've got a non-restricted Sky account, you would also get bog on those after 9 o'clock. So I think it's just that one. So we've got 3 standard term races and only Capitanti Com. So 120, Alice from Umbridge, 33s. 225 Capitanti Con, regular on the channel, 9 to 1. 405 Broad Appeal, 20s. And 435, a fairly regular on the channel also, Storm Melody at 11s. So 20p each way, lucky 15. That is bet 1. Then got a combination bet at Lingfield on 2 races that aren't paying extra places anywhere. I think possibly Unibet. I don't talk about Unibet. It's not an account I've got at the moment. So, and I don't know how many other people have. But Unibet sometimes are quite good for extra places. But I'm not familiar enough with it to sort of quote it so much. But this is it. No extra places on here. with most other bookies. So a bookie with bog, so if you're doing it night before, 365 Coral, do it in the morning, you're not restricted on Sky, and use Sky or Ladbrokes. So these, I'd like both these races for value. So the 120, Alice from Umbridge and Deep Spirit, I think are worth having it at 33s. They're the two bottom of the market horses. I don't think they should be. So they are there. And then the 405, I've put 3 out on here. So Broad Appeal's the one that made it into the lucky. Not the biggest price. Abstract is slightly bigger at 22s, but I sort of worked out the value was slightly better on Broad Appeal. It had a slightly broader appeal, and then Imperial Colt 14s. So 6 times 25p each way doubles. £3 is your bet. That is bet 2. And then we're into the afternoon lucky 15. That's not Lingfield. So we've got the 205 Southwell Bay Rat. That is my horse of the day for value at 66 to 1. So we've got a single on that as well. 240 at Southwell, Bird for Life 11s, that's been a fairly regular on the channel. 250 Weatherby, shorty odds on favourite. I make that absolutely clear second favourite, but I do think it's got potential to give the odds on favourite a run for its money. Didn't like anything at price, so I think it's quite a good one in there at 6 to 1, Thistle Buffs, albeit it's the smallest price I've got today. And then 315 Southwell Urban Road, no extra places on that race, 17 to 2. 18 pence, I've got a couple of lucky slightly smaller, 18 pence each way lucky 15, and the reason that is I could have just been nice and straightforward, but I wanted to put a single on Bay Rat because I think the price is particularly good. So Bay Rat 66 to 1 is an extra 60 pence each way single on that, which makes it a £6.60 bet. Sky Best, so no extra places anywhere. Sky and Coral are both 4 places on the 205. They're pretty much the only ones. And then Sky 5 on the 240. Most bookies are 4. So that's bet 3. Then we've got bet 4 Southwell combination bet. 240. So we've got 5 places on Sky there and 4 on there. Most bookies are 4 and 4. 240 Bird for Life 11s that was in the lucky, King Charles 11s, and we've got Bobber T in the 22s there, so a much bigger price but only in there. And then 555 Amore, which is going to be in a lucky 15, and Jacomando, which isn't at 22s. So again, 6 times 25p each way doubles, £3 is your bet. Sky Best because of the extra place in that race, and then 365 Coral or Ladbrokes because you'll get bog. That is bet 4. And then I've got 2 evening lucky 15s. So Southwell Newcastle lucky 15, 525 Southwell Baez 10 to 1, 555 that we're using in the combo bet, Amore 14s, and then 2 late ones at Newcastle, 750 Daniels Flyer at 22s, and then the 820 Newcastle. We've got a nice Gaelic name there. Slangevar. Yes, I actually do know some Gaelic, so that means good health. So if you're ever out drinking in some of the Gaelic places of the world, for this mainly Scotland and Ireland, Slangevar. So Slangevar to our 400 video we've got here, 10 to 1. I'm hoping I've got that right. My cousins will kill me if I haven't. 18 pence each way, lucky 15. That is Sky Best, then Betfred, then 365 Coral or Ladbrokes. It's 540 your bet. That is bet 5. And then finally, we do have to finish on our 400th video, last day of the month, a Dundalk special. Not massive prices, but there is a Dundalk special. 6:30 Anna Cherry 11 to 1. 7 o'clock Arena 17 to 2. 7:30 Miss Abby Jules 8 to 1, and finishing off at 8:30 Uberima Fides 18 to 1. 20p each way, lucky 15. Sky Best, and then 365 or Paddy. And the reason Sky Best is one of these races, I think it might be this one, are 5. But generally speaking, most bookies are 4, 3, 4 and 4. 365 and Paddy. Haven't used good flag on here, but haven't put in Coral there because they are only 3 places on the first race. So 365 and Paddy, you'll get there, and you'll get bog in the morning with Paddy. So that is bet 6. All right, that's it. That's the big stake. I'm looking at Saturday, thinking there's probably going to be less volume in terms of amount of bets on Saturday. That we've got the Lincoln, we've got the Spring Mile at Doncaster, and then potentially another couple of decent field size handicaps at Bellewstown. We'll have to see whatever else there is, but I'm thinking there's less volume because there's not loads of Irish stuff on Saturday. So we will see when we get there. And at the moment, it could well be a Friday night upload for Saturday's racing. I'm off out early on Saturday morning, so I'm just sort of concerned I might not have time to get it done Saturday morning. So it might be I'm back Friday night, late Friday night again for Saturday's racing, and then in Saturday morning, freebets.com video, I'll be back on there as well. 2 vids as usual for Saturday's racing, but it might be the way around. Usually it's free bets about 8:30 and I come on at 10:30. I might be uploading again 11:30ish sort of Saturday night with the regular channel, and free bets should it usually is about 8:30, 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. Alright, that is me. Thank you very much. I will see you for video 401, which will be probably tomorrow night. Thank you very much. Slanjavar.